So in this one, I'm just going to adjust the height of our walls here, and I'm also going to cut out the balcony area. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over to my layers tab, and I'm going to switch back on the front elevation. So if I press 1, I come into front view, I'm going to press Z and bring up wireframe. If I select this wall here, you can see that it's currently too high, so it's including the overall height of the roof. So what I want to do is just reduce these in height. So I'm just going to press and hold the middle mouse button to come around there so you can see this. Press Z and solid. My roof height is here, and these walls need to be reduced slightly. So I'm going to select this object, and I'm going to come over to the manipulate button, select this. Okay, I'm going to press 1 again and press Z for wireframe. I'm going to grab this arrow and drag it down to the base of the roof height, which is this one here. Okay, so that's what I need to do for the rest of these walls. So if I select each one, actually first off I'm going to just switch off these manipulators as I go along. So I'm going to select the next wall, select manipulate, and actually I need to press 3 for this one. It's in side view, so I'm going to grab this here and snap this to the base of the roof. So I'm going to select the next one, select manipulate. I need to press 1 for this one, and again drag this down to the base of the roof. Just going to switch some of these off. Okay, so I'm going to select the next one, switch on the manipulate, and drag this down. And again, I need to come into side view, grab this and snap it down. Okay, I can switch these off. So that's what we want. We just want the same height for all of these objects. Okay, I'm just going to select a couple of these and make sure I can switch them off. Okay, so that's not looking too bad. The other thing I want to do is create the balcony area. So if I press 1 again and zoom in, we have a balcony height here represented by this wall. And what I'm going to do is cut out this whole area. So to do that, I'm going to press Shift A and add a cube. I'm just going to drag this over here and drag it up. Zoom in. I'm going to snap it to sit on this level here. G, Z, snap that down there. I'm going to press S and scale this in the X. And basically I just want to cover over the wall. Okay, just this section here. I'm going to press 3 and just zoom out. And again, we need to go to full length. So I'm going to press S and Y, scale this again just to cover this area here. I'm just going to center it up slightly, something like this. Okay, I can press Z and come back to solid. I can come around here and you can just see what we've done there. So it's just really encapsulating the end wall that we want to subtract. Now what I'm going to do with this cube is just set it to a wireframe. So if I come over to the object tab here, down here under maximum draw type, I'm going to switch this from textured to wire, so it's not so imposing in the scene. The other thing I want to do is name this. So I'm going to come up to the outliner, press the period key, just double click here and rename this to balcony cutter _1. Press enter. So if I come over to my transform options here on the properties shelf, I'm going to apply the scale of this. So I'm going to press Ctrl A and I'm going to choose scale. Okay, so if I select my wall now and come over to the modifiers tab, it's going to minimize this. I'm going to add a Boolean modifier and I'm going to select our object, which is balcony cutter 1, and I'm going to set this to difference. Okay, and that just cuts the balcony area for us, similar to this object for the window. So what I'm going to do actually is select this, Shift D and X, and I'm going to press 7, and I'm going to rotate this by 90. Scale it down slightly on the X, and I can press G, drag this over here, maybe scale it up a little bit more on the X. I'm going to press GX and snap it to this wall here. So this is going to be the beginning of the balcony, and I can press 1. That's going to encapsulate the whole area there. If I press the period key over here, I'm just going to change this to _2. Press enter. Press and hold the middle mouse button just to come around. I'm going to select the wall again, and I'm going to add another Boolean modifier, and this time it's going to be balcony cutter 2. I'm going to set this to difference. Okay, and that looks pretty good. And I need to make a copy of this one. So I'm going to select it, press 7, press Shift D, Press Y and drag this back and just line it up in the center of that there. Over here in the outliner, I'm just going to rename this to balcony color 3. Press enter. And if I come back around here, I can select the wall and I can add a Boolean modifier, and again pick my balcony color 3 and switch it to difference. What I'm going to do is select these 3 balcony cutters and I'm going to move them to the first floor. Okay, so if I switch off my front elevation, I'm going to press 1, okay, and just come around here. Okay, that looks pretty good. That's going to do it for this one.